watch this later. All right, so if you don't want to be recorded, you might have to turn your computer off. All right, so welcome everybody. I know, Gabe, you can't see, we've got half of the office in the office and half online, so it's good to see everybody. I'm so glad to be back to semi-live meetings. Exciting. And a new face to our meeting, Gabriel Brown. He's our Vice President of Corporate Services, so welcome, Gabe. I'm going to have you talk in just a few minutes, but let's talk about, tell me something good that happened this week. I've got the microphone right here for all of you people in the audience. Who wants to talk? You need to come over here. Go ahead, just yell.
Brightener went in escrow.
Woohoo!
So, yeah, we had showings even on Father's Day.
Oh, you did? Wow, way to go. What else has good news?
Gail and I closed our Wolf Creek, got insurance, homeowners insurance in one day.
Oh, yeah.
They forgot to buy homeowners insurance. They paid cash. And they had a $920,000 house with no homeowners insurance.
Oh my gosh, you guys, just FYI. Remember, when you're buying cash, you still got to get homeowners insurance, and they forgot at the last second.
Yeah.
Thanks for pulling them out of the fire.
Yes,
good job.
Then we got it closed. So I have a check.
Yay, yay! Like check day. Adam?
Adrian and I had our escrow closed yesterday.
Woohoo!
Still waiting on termite clearance, but
That's just a little detail. Termite clearance, no big deal. You can get past that. All right, anybody else? Something good? We're going to get into listings in a little bit, but anybody online have something good they want to share? Oh, I have something good. Thank God it just showed up in my in my email right now. So give me 1 second. I'm going to share my screen. It couldn't have been better. Actually, please hold. Oh no. I almost turned you guys all off. Okay. It's my top 5. Pause it right there. And I share it. Share my sound. Share. Here we go. For the month. Yay, way to go. And I have renewed. I love it. Start doing it from now on. So Are you way to go, you guys. I'm so proud of you. You all did so good. So I just wanted to put that out there. Anybody else have some good news they want to share? All right, then I'm going to move on. Let's talk with Gabe in our relocation division. Gabe, you've got the stage. Tell us how you can help us make more money.
Sure.
Oops, I muted you. Hold on. Oh.
I would love to. Thanks, Shannon. I'm coming through, right?
Yes.
Okay. Do I have the ability, or can you give me the ability to share?
I will.
Something. I just have a couple of things that I wanted to spend some time on.
Go ahead.
And visually. Okay.
Gabe, what office do you reside out of mostly?
Scottsdale, our
Okay.
corporate office in Scottsdale. But I do travel, and I am looking forward to getting my way out there.
Awesome.
I'm actually from Southern California. I don't know if again, kind of the reason why I'm taking the opportunity to meet as many and participate in a lot of our office meetings is be able to get to meet a lot of agents. But I assumed my role starting in February of this year. So I'm new to the company, not new to the industry. My background primarily is actually in corporate relocation. So I've spent about 14 years working for a relocation management company. And the last couple of years managing real estate referrals, most recently working with CalBRE Banker, and now transitioning over to Berkshire Hathaway, which I feel like is more home for me than any other company I've worked for. But is my screen coming through, I guess?
It is. It's just
As I'm playing, as
yeah,
I'm playing
close
through and
that-
highlighting
close
things.
that sidebar thing, because it's kind of taking over a little bit of your screen. The
Oops.
little, just a little, go ahead. I'm not going to tell you.
Okay.
Perfect.
So again, I like taking the opportunity to spend a few minutes, particularly for agents in California, which again, I'm very anxious to get out and to meet everybody face to face now that things are open, which is exciting. But to kind of just talk a little bit about what our department does. So not a lot of people, from what I understand, just even know or have a grasp of what our corporate services and relocation department does. So just want to take a couple of minutes to talk a little bit about that and what we offer. First, though, let me just introduce my team. So, of course, you have myself as the Vice President of Corporate Services. I do have Terry Randall, who sits out of our Las Vegas, our St. Rose branch. So she does a lot of our broker referrals and does a lot of our affinity referrals as well. And I'll talk a little bit about what that is in a later slide. And then I have Christina Malley, who sits with me in Scottsdale. So those are my two relocation specialists who report to me. They manage more of the day-to-day. So when it comes to actually placing the referrals that come into our department, following up with them, working with the agents to make sure that we're getting the updates, things of that nature. So what is corporate services? So our department, I kind of refer to as corporate services and either relocation or referrals. I've heard many different names. Ultimately, what our responsibilities and what my responsibilities are is basically manage, maintain, and establish new referral sources for the company, right? And all 3 states. That's not always something, and I know, Shannon, you had mentioned, where do I actually physically sit? Yes, I sit in Scottsdale, but we do manage the referrals for our entire company. That includes Las Vegas and California. Under managing our referral sources, that includes providing timely updates. A lot of our referral sources ask, what's going on. They need to know when it's under contract, when we're getting through the inspection, the due diligence period, things like that. So that's certainly an expectation that our referral sources require from us, ensuring that we're compliant with their specific paperwork as well, and then execute any required training, because some of our referral sources and partners do require that agents who participate and take those leads on go through a specific training. I maintain the relationship with the referral sources that we have, and that includes, customer satisfaction, making sure that our customers or the customers that are referring to us are happy with the services that our agents are providing. So certainly, and we do have some really high customer satisfaction ratings with some of our partners. Converting, right? Obviously, they wouldn't continue to send us more leads if we're not converting the referrals that they give to us, right? That's excluding, though, any extenuating circumstances, such as, the buyer just doesn't qualify, or, the relocating employee just declines the move altogether, things like that. And then, of course, establishing new referral sources, certainly a part of our responsibility. What we provide and what I advertise in our department is the experience. And now that comes down to you as the agents, right? The experience you provide, the years of knowledge, being a real estate agent, certainly. Coverage, covering all of inland Orange County, even closer to the coast of Orange County as well. So all of that, Temecula down, through the French Valley. Certainly that's all part of the coverage that we advertise to our referral sources. Local market knowledge, again, you as the agents, the experience and the knowledge that you provide, understanding your market. Support, that's some of the things that we provide as a department to the agents who do participate in, taking on leads from our department. Coaching and guidance, that's something that I do offer as much as I can to those agents who, again, are working those leads. So here's a quick summary of the certain business lines, I'll call them business lines or referral buckets that we work with. One of them being corporate relocation. The other one, broker referrals, and of course, affinity and internet. Affinity basically means from our Berkshire Hathaway brand. So there's a lot of partnerships and engagements that they work on, and that is a part of just being a Berkshire Hathaway brand, and that's something that my department does manage. There is a little bit of a breakdown too, as far as the different, how much business is segregated between, all of those different business lines of business. Corporate relocation consists of almost 50% of the leads that we get, broker to broker about 40%, and affinity up to 50%. And then our conversion stats too, which we actually, I love to advertise and talk about. We have some of the best conversion rates. And again, that comes basically down to the agents, and the credit that's due them in terms of converting their clients and helping them buy and sell homes. So corporate relocation, we have closer to 60%, broker to broker over 80%, and affinity almost close to 100%. I think it's 90% or so. Of course, I like to round up and say 100%, but that's not true. So what I like to talk about, and it goes back to your question, Shannon, what can our department do for you? So helping place a referral. A lot of people don't know, and they like to use their own connections with agents, real estate agents, either they've known or have heard from through the channels, which is totally fine. As a company, you're allowed to do that. However, what I want to talk about is what the advantage is using our department to help place a referral, right? Because this just only extends your knowledge and experience and connections within the industry when you get to now proudly say, yeah, let me connect you with a Berkshire Hathaway agent in Atlanta or in Houston, Texas, wherever it may be, and even globally, which we'll talk about in a second. So the advantage of using our department is that we'll help source a list of agents for you to place and to connect your client with, right? So it's not just as though that you only have one option. We can actually source a couple different agents for you to interview if you'd like, to see who would be a good fit for your clients. And we get those requests all the time from our department, right? So we say, okay, well, let me put in front of you a couple different agents. You guys make the choice. So that's an advantage, right? So you are really participating now in placing that and working with that agent who is going to be that good fit and is going to be able to work your client, relative, friend, whoever it may be. We'll follow up and track the progress of that referral, which from what I understand and what I've experienced personally myself is sometimes hard. You just sometimes are just flipping a referral over and just crossing your fingers and hope that it closes. And sometimes the next thing that you see is them calling to say, hey, we closed, or, your check is on the way, which is good. It's a positive thing, but you don't know. And particularly if you're placing a listing referral, I can only imagine how critical that may be especially if that client is utilizing some of that equity to buy with you, right? So we will help track the progress of that referral, right? When they're under contract, when they're getting to close, when they're through their inspection period, things like that. And then we'll, of course, help collect a referral fee for you, kind of avoiding that maybe awkward conversation sometimes, having to chase down that from that brokerage. It's been a month since closing. Where's the referral check? We'll do all of that for you. And if you let us do that for you, it is actually exempt from any franchise fees by the company because we're using the Berkshire Hathaway network. So another selling point, there's, all these advantages. So I just hope that we get the opportunity next time you have a referral to place, use our department, let us help place that referral for you. And like I said, so we are global too. We do business through our Berkshire Hathaway brand. We have offices in Dubai, Toronto, Berlin, Madrid. In fact, just about a month ago, I had worked with an agent to help place a referral. I think it was in Portugal, so and I don't know that office is listed there. I kind of ran out of room, but quite unique that you get to now actually as an agent say, absolutely, let me connect you with another Berkshire Hathaway agent in that country. We can still help you buy your second home, vacation home, whatever it may be. How do you place a referral? It's quite easy. There is a link in the VAC. Hopefully a lot of us are spending time in that VAC. And there's a tile at the bottom right, I believe there that will, again, link you right to the form. That referral and that information will go directly to my team, and then we'll help source out the agents for you. And there's also a downloadable version of that form under the Document Center under corporate info, relocation, it's kind of found there. So if you'd prefer to download it, fill it out, you can do that as well. And there's an email there where you can send it to. Or simply just give me a call, contact me, reach out to Shannon, and we'll get in touch that way. The Military Advantage Program. So I'll spend a couple of minutes on this. I'm not sure how many of you actually work with maybe active or veteran or former service member, military members, but we do have a program that is offered to any of those military service members to get a rebate if they buy or sell with you. And this is a program that also offers a donation to the USO, which is quite unique, but it was our way as a company to kind of stay competitive with that USA. If you've ever seen or worked with anybody who has done a USAA program or has a USAA account, they offer a very similar program where they basically give a little bit of a cash rebate if you buy or sell, you use them. The problem with that is that USAA is not the easiest lender to work with. And Shannon, I don't know if we have anybody from Axia in the office as well, or any of our preferred partners, but essentially, they do a great job, offering VA loans, but this is something that you can offer basically to stay competitive with, those who say, well, USAA, gives me that kind of cash rebate. We offer the same. You can say that you offer the same program. And from my understanding, the last time I checked, the rebate is actually a little bit better with us versus the program that they offer with USAA, and they get to use you as the agent. So a much better kind of setup. I'm sorry, I'm in another office today as well. Here is just the brochure that you can have customized. You can work with marketing to have your information listed there, but that kind of shows a little bit about how that rebate program works. For example, a purchase price between $600,000 and $650,000, that customer gets a $3,750 rebate, and then a donation, like I said, is made to the USO. That, like I said, is available on the VAC if you want to work with marketing, or you can get that customized with your information. A little bit of the talking points I kind of already mentioned is the fact that, again, if you ever come across anybody who is a member or has an account with USAA and they're looking to buy a home, again, this is a great opportunity you to step in and say, look, we do offer a identical program, if not better, than what USAA offers. The only caveat to that is that, again, if you do participate in accepting any referrals from our department, we can't double dip. So you can't have a referral come to you as well as then offering that Military Advantage program. That's the only exception.
That happens a lot, actually.
Understood. I mean, again, it's such a great program. We want to offer it, but again, there's that kind of exception that we can't do both. So there's just not going to be enough room for enough commission to go around, if you will. I just wanted to end my time with that. If anybody is interested in kind of expanding their sphere, expanding their contacts, we do get a lot of rental leads. That comes from our Berkshire Hathaway national website. All of those people that are inquiring about rentals through there that are doing their search comes to our department. Some of them are very solid leads. Obviously, we know the market is super competitive, even with rentals. But again, it is an opportunity, and we do get quite a bit of it, as you can imagine, with the increase of interest in the market. Sometimes we get buyer leads as well, but a lot of them, what I'm looking for is possibly anybody who'd be interested in participating and taking on these rental leads. So if you are interested, if you wouldn't mind reaching out to Shannon, we'd be happy to kind of add you to rotation to get some of those rental leads. Again, some of them work out very well, and there's no referral, there's none of that. It's simply just a lead and a contact that you can kind of take from there. So,
and that's the funny thing about the rental leads out here is totally different than I feel like other states. I'm sure I've told you, Gabe, that the Temecula market has worked its way down to about $100 referral for a leased tenant. And so that's why you get so much pushback, to be honest, from the California agents, is not wanting those leads, but they could turn into a buyer. So,
and that's why I kind of position that if we want to just expand that contact base, because you never know. I mean, while we may not be able to help them on this one, we know that sometimes some of these rental leads turn into buyers too. So those who want to kind of, add some contacts into their drip campaign or whatever they want to do, I get it. I completely understand and familiar with that. But yeah, if anybody is interested in participating and expanding their contacts, let me know. But
I have another, I want to throw it out there because your predecessor had mentioned at a previous meeting about Op City, and I want to kind of put it out there that they had an emerging agent network. And so we have been fielding some of those referral leads as well. Can you talk a little bit about that?
absolutely. So yes, you're absolutely right, Shannon. Op City, we have a corporate account with them. Anybody who is interested in participating, reach out to Shannon. There is some expectations though for agents who are working on Op City. There are some videos and some trainings that you'll need to go through, just so you know, or just so we're giving it a very best opportunity and putting our best foot forward and trying to convert their leads. But certainly something that we still manage as a company. We have our company account, and you can, when you're an emerging agent, it's quite nice because you'll go to the top of the list, typically because you're a newer agent. Some of them may be rental leads, but even if you close a rental lead, and I know I don't like to use that term very much, but if you do, that counts as a closed transaction, which is kind of nice because the more closed transactions you get, obviously the higher on the list. Their algorithm is set up that way. So again, the more closed transactions you have, the more opportunities you're going to get. But even if you close a lease, that's a closed transaction. That's just if you're going to close a $750,000 home. So that's kind of nice. They don't really differentiate between that, and that gives you a good opportunity. But
yeah, closing is a closing to them, and so then you move up the list and get
Right.
more and better type leads. Cool. Does anybody have any questions for Gabe? No. All right. Well, then I guess that's it. Thank you so much, Gabe. I appreciate you visiting. Hopefully we'll see you in the office live soon.
Yeah, can't wait. I'll let you know.
All right, thanks so much. All right, so let's move on. I want to talk about, so some of you are probably may or may not be aware that we have on Facebook a Berkshire Hathaway Networks. It's just our work group within Berkshire Hathaway. And Mark has been putting some of his Facebook Live videos on there. The video that he did yesterday was really kind of important. He's on a 10-week series right now. And so I wanted to share with you that video. Let me mute some people here. Just because it kind of goes hand in hand. We're going to talk about market stats in the state and in California and Southern California right now. But I want to talk about, taking your measurements and keeping track of matrix numbers and goals and things like that. So let me share Mark's video with you. But where did it go? I have it queued up so you don't have to listen to the opening. Let's see. Try again. Okay, it's only 10 minutes.
Pacific Standard Time. And today we are in number 7. I'm in the middle of, or really past the middle point of a 10-week series that really engulfs our whole training plan as it comes to managing a successful real estate business. And today's titled, Know Your Numbers, Business Metrics and Financials. Another, I think, example of what many times gets missed or purposely jumped over. And I have to tell you, if you're in business, you got to know your numbers. So I'm going to hit on a couple areas, 4 areas specifically, that really will tell you and give you a message how much knowing your numbers helps you move your business forward. Now, before I jump in, as I go through some of these business metrics, I want everyone to know that Rick Barabee, our VP of Sales, has a number analyzer that's open to all our sales executives. And if you're interested in that, just reach out to his assistant, Sydney, and or reach out to Rick, and he'll make sure that you get a copy of the number analyzer. Also, give you a heads up that our CFO, Todd Knight, is also working on a simple financial for the use of sales executives. So that will be done very soon. It's something we want to keep simple for you. Certainly, there's other products off the shelf that you can use, but we want something that a sales executive can use that's easy and really ties directly into what we know the real estate business is all about. All right, so let's jump in. Let's ask, Mark, I want to know my numbers, but why is it so really important that I do? Well, one, knowing your numbers provides you clarity of outcome. Look, if you don't know the numbers and the metrics that you want to hit, how do you know you're moving in the right direction? How do you know you're really as productive as we hope you are? All right, think about it. Units closed, GCI, whatever your focus is, this is how you know. If you know your numbers, you know if you're on track. You know that when you're not hitting the benchmarks that you put for yourself to hit, something's got to change. Something needs to be tweaked. If you don't have those numbers and they're not clear in your mind and you're not living, breathing it each and every day, guess what? Time goes by, you don't make any changes because truthfully, there's no benchmark to help you make those changes. Knowing your numbers can help you do a better listing presentation and a better buyer presentation. All right, let me give you an example. One of the metrics, and I know Rick is a big proponent of this, is your list price versus your actual sales price of what you sold the property for. And in this environment, okay, clearly it's not, is it going to be, how close did you come to the 100% down? It's really, how far did you go over the 100%, all right, of where you listed it. So there's metrics that can help you when you present to a seller in that example. It shows you how really well you know the process and how good you are at getting properties sold that maximizes their equity. In this market, remember, it's not about can you get the property sold. Yeah, virtually anyone can do that. The question is it selling for the right price that's truly maximizing your client's equity regardless of the environment that you're in? And another one that gets missed, if you are running a team, what we call a brokerage within a brokerage, or you're thinking about it, knowing your numbers helps you manage each and every one of your team associates. So when you're following these rules and these processes, they'll help you through running your entire business, including any team associates you hire. All right, next, what else does knowing your numbers and the metrics provide you? Well, it drives your DRC. If you're really wondering what I should do each day, Mark talks about this, daily revenue commitment. My managers talk about this daily revenue commitment, this DRC. But what should it be? Well, when you know your numbers, you can back into what your DRC needs to be to support those numbers. If you don't know your numbers and you pick a DRC that's truly maybe not representing you, okay, based on what you want to earn or what you want to, level you want to succeed at, well, that's because you had no clarity on numbers. So it helps you pick and choose the right DRC that supports you. All right, next, knowing your numbers, and this is a big one, helps spotlight, helps notice your weaknesses. You know what? We talk about focusing on your strengths, but guess what? To be able to focus on your strengths, we have to know where you're weak, because maybe you're doing some activities that you personally should not be doing, or you're doing some activities that you have no choice. It is one of your highest and best use, but let me be direct. You need to tweak your presentation because you're not getting the results that you should get. For example, contacts to appointments. And let me preface it. You don't have to do all of these, but some of these should really hit home with you, and it'll let you know if I kept tabs on these numbers, maybe I wouldn't have the stats that I think I have. All right, so again, contacts to appointments. How many contacts do you have to make to get an appointment? It's a great stat to know. How about appointments to listing taken? How many appointments do I have to go on to how many listings do I get? So, you know, I went on 10 appointments, I took 5 listings. Well, you're 50%. Now, some of you out there are going, well, you know what? Truly, every listing appointment I go on, I get. Well, let me tell you this, you're not going on enough appointments. What you're going on is the laydowns. Yep, you're getting some great referrals and they're saying, market your property with Berkshire Hathaway and Mark, and that's all great. But guess what? If you're not going on other appointments where you don't know the person, all right, you're holding your income down. So I will tell you, if you're getting every listing you go on, you need to go on more listing appointments. And then you'll see where those weaknesses will come into play. How about contacts to closings? So you want to know how many contacts I had to make to have a closing. In fact, you can take that to the next level and it tells you how much money I'm making per contact. You know, what are my dollars per contact? I think Rick shared with me his was 88. So he knew every contact he made 88 bucks because he understood his numbers, and you can bring that all back to you. And it even makes contacts easier because you're like going, every contact I make, if I'm talking to someone, I just made 88 bucks in Rick's example. And I will tell you this, no, they don't send you $88, but based on the business you're doing and based on your consistency, that's, in Rick's example, is what he is making per contact. We talked about list price versus listing sold price. Not only do you want that, which is a huge help in a presentation, but you want to know that stat so you can share that also within your overall success marketing. And there's other stats that you might want to use. Either way, knowing your numbers helps you get better. You know what you have to focus on so you can tweak that skill set, as we talked last week, the importance of skill set tweaking, and you get better and better and your stats get better and better. And last but not least is numbers need to make sense. So if your numbers have to make sense and you have to use them on an ongoing basis, guys, you can't look at numbers for a week, for 2 weeks and go, okay, they're not making sense, or I'm done with them, or I'm not following up. Truthfully, you have to give it a minimum of 6 months. And my real recommendation is you better be measuring your numbers for a year. If you measure your numbers and really see where it's at for a year, you'll see your strengths, you'll see your weaknesses, you'll see where you got to tweak, you'll see the whole gamut. Look at running your financials, knowing your numbers, knowing the metrics are all key to running a business. And I have to say, any business, not only a real estate business. So if you're in the real estate business, numbers has got to be part of your plan of attack. And it's number 7, as I stated on our list. Now, next week, we're going to be covering number 8. We have 10. So we're on number 8 next week, and it's entitled Your Perfect Day. I would suggest no one miss that.
I'm just going to pause it right there. That's enough. So anyway, the point is, I mean, I think I've talked to you guys a lot about track and measure. And you know I'm constantly tracking the market, and you guys should be tracking your numbers too. If you want that easy spreadsheet that Rick has, I'd be happy to give it to you. It's just basically what do you want to earn, and it will break it down into how many contacts you should be talking to on a daily basis. So I'm happy to share that with you. We are in the process of tweaking some trainings that are going to be loaded on the BAC. So I'll let you know once those get there. But since we're on the track and measure topic, let's talk about how the market is actually doing right now. So hopefully you guys, you can see my screen. These are all May numbers. We're all still talking about May because June's not closed yet. But in the state of California, there was 445,660 home sales in the month of May. Now, I'm going to say this again, and I'll be saying it probably most of the year. The year-over-year change was 86.7%, but that was because last year was COVID. So there's going to be some time before those numbers start catching up. It'll probably be more like fall. But so some of those numbers are really exaggerated. But year to date, we're even up 34.6. The median home price in California is $818,260, but our unsold inventory is only 1.8 months worth of inventory, and that is just not very much. To be honest, it's down 58%. It's huge. Days on market, median days on market, 7 days. We all know that. We're feeling it here. So let's move into Southern California, where we get a little more closer in. Year over year, 80% up, and 36.5 year to date. Our existing home price in Southern California is $752. So when we take out the Bay Area, it really changes that number, doesn't it? I wish we lived up there. Unsold inventory doesn't really change much. Median days on market, pretty much the same. And sales price to list price ratio, 103.5%. And we've been seeing that for sure in our market as well. When we look at the sales by region, Southern California has most of the sales at 47%, and that's an 80% growth. I just kind of said that. And then let's go to this one. The sales price to list price ratio, I kind of mentioned that. You can see how much it jumped up for the month of May. So 103.8, but last month it wasn't very close to that. So that's a change month to month, 0.6% month to month, and 4.2% year over year. So last year, this time, we weren't quite making it to 100% list price. So definitely some changes there. When we look at the active listings based on the year, we're looking here at this really pale blue. It looks like blue. What does it look like on there? Anyway, this little pale blue line, we're not even at half of the listings we had last year. And last year was terrible. And the year before that was even terrible. So we're learning to live with the, unfortunately, with the very, very low inventory levels that we have. I mean, look at April looks like it was slightly even worse. So just really important for us to be out there trying to get new listings. This is showing how the year over year change. We finally made an uptick from that 50% mark up to minus 46.4 instead of minus 50% change. So we just got to get some more listings. So in the Inland Empire, when we look at the median sold price for the month of May, 510,000, and April, the month before, was 500. And the year before was 395,740. So humongous difference. So month to month, we only changed 2%, but year over year, we're almost at 30% change. That's why everybody's cashing out on their homes right now. But we definitely noticed a difference in the number of sales. And I'm sure it has to do with our listings that we have available to sell. So month over month, we were down 4.3%. At year over year, we sold 58.4% more in just the Inland Empire. Now I'm going to take it down one more notch down to Riverside County. Our median sale price in May was $560,000. The month before was $545,000. The year before was $434,480. So month over month, it's going up 2.7. Year over year, it's going up 28.9. That's not really a change for the whole Inland Empire. And then the sales went down. So we had a bigger decrease in sales in May, 5.2% in the negative. But year over year, we had more, 60.4%. So then if I dial it down into what do we have here as far as active listings on the market in the Temecula Valley, our 6 cities nearby, 516 listings total active in the last 7 days. Last week it was 400, or I should say 2 weeks ago, because we didn't have a meeting last week, was 466. New listings on the market, pretty much the same, 194. New escrows, 291, which is slightly down from 2 weeks ago, and closed were slightly up. And then as far as how many do we have in the actual city of Temecula, 148 listings, with the lowest sale price being 430,000. There is one, if you look it up, that's actually a condo. They have it marked in the wrong spot, but 430,000 for the smallest, cheapest home in Temecula. That's pretty wow. As far as our office is concerned, year over year for the month of May last year, listings, we took 11. This year we took 11. We stayed equal. We opened 22 escrows last year. We opened 26 escrows in May this year. We did fantastic for open escrows. We only closed 6. And that's because April was short on openings. So we only closed 6. But where are we going for June? Our goal for listings is 13. We're actually at 6 right now. Our goals for escrow is 19, and we only have 5. We only have a week to go. So get your stuff in Sky Slope if I haven't seen it. Could really use the help. And the closed escrows, our goal is 22. Right now we have 13. We are on track to hit 24. And that's obviously because last month we put 26 deals in escrow. So we just need to get some more, the listings and the sales are where it's at for us. We just need to get those numbers up. And one way we can do that is obviously doing our farming, maybe doing some open houses and things like that. So speaking of that, who's got some listings coming? Do you?
Sure.
Jill, do you have anything?
I have an appointment today at 2. They've already talked to another agent who has a buyer for them at 505.
Mm.
The lady's feeling nervous that she's being pressured to take that buyer.
Mhm.
And so we're convincing her that if we put it on the market,
Buyer's still there.
Yeah, wow.
We'll see how we do.
Yeah, good luck on that. So one listing appointment. Anybody else have any listings? Let's talk about buyers' wants and needs. Anybody have buyers' wants and needs that they want to discuss out there?
We do.
Yeah, go ahead.
We
Speak
need
up.
2. Well, we need more than that, but the 2 that are really pressing, we need another listing in Wolf Creek. We closed one, and the sister wants to be walking distance to her sister's house. So big lot in Wolf Creek, but she's cash up to $1 million. And then her parents want to be in Bear Creek on the golf course.
Wow.
And we found them one, but it needs a few more repairs than they want to do. So anybody who has anything on the golf course in Wolf Creek, they will entertain anything out there. And they're also cash.
Okay.
And they've all sold their houses. They're living in rentals and ready to go.
Wow, that's crazy. I know
And then we need a chip one in Menifee, $350.
you need a cheap one.
Yeah.
Condo.
They don't want a condo.
Yeah.
But she wants a single family home for up to $400. So we go the full spectrum.
Yeah.
But
You might have
anybody who has anything like that, they're ready to go.
All right, we should be farming for our buyers. Anybody else have buyer wants, needs? Anybody out there? Okay. I want to talk about open houses and the rules changes. I went on vacation last week right as we changed the new rules with the June 15th, and they'll probably change again today because they change the rules every Wednesday, it seems like. Right after my meeting's over, we'll get a new update. So this is as of last week. I'm going to send you guys these. Actually, I'll put them up on the screen. That'll be better for you guys out there. So the reopening for open houses and showings. So any restrictions for open houses and showings, the only restriction will be for wearing masks, and the masks are for people who are not vaccinated. Otherwise, no physical distancing, no cleaning, no posted rules of entry, no PEDs, and any other type of sign-in. No one has to agree to an office prevention plan, and no one has to attest their current health status. So yay, get out there and do open houses. So again, to reiterate, the only rule is for wearing masks. People must wear a mask unless they're fully vaccinated if they're indoors. That's per the California Department of Real Estate and OSHA, Cal OSHA, but again, that might change today because I know they met again since this was put out. Let's see.
But
Color-
the homeowner is set restriction.
Yes, I was going to get to that. There's no
So-
more color coded.
Do we just post a sign that, I mean, because, I mean, realistically, you can't really ask everybody. I mean, you probably supposed to, but they don't have to tell you.
It's going to be on their
supposed-
honor. We can't ask people
Yeah.
their medical,
Right.
any of their medical stuff. So we just have to hope that everybody's doing, but yeah, we're not supposed to post any rules, but the seller can set their own rules as to who could be admitted to the property. So they can require all visitors to wear a mask. They can require visitors to be vaccinated or show a negative COVID test. They can implement a vaccine verification, whether individuals are required to wear a mask. And they can provide information to all visitors regarding vaccination requirements, So the rule of thumb here is if you already have listings, we should be having conversations with our sellers about these changes and what do they want. Any new listings, I mean, obviously we're not doing COVID forms, we're not doing PEDS, we're not putting the posted rules for entry anymore. They're not even available anymore. So if someone asks you for one, I'm sorry. The best you could probably do is if the seller wants something, it would be a vaccination verification. But like I said, this may change again.
Shannon,
Yep.
are we supposed to enforce what the owners want, or are they supposed to stay and enforce it themselves?
That is a good question. I don't know. I would imagine that we would post, I mean, if we're doing an open house, we're going to have to tell on each individual as they come in, this is the seller's request, and then you're going to have to be the hammer. But on your listings, the agent remarks should say what the seller is requesting. So there's also a Q&A that I'll share with the whole office once we're done here, and hopefully they won't, well, hopefully they will change, but as of this morning, they haven't changed. So that's that.
Are we still required to get PED forms?
No PED forms.
Okay.
They're not even available. So even if you have one saved, it's not available anymore. Thank God. And then speaking of forms, new forms should be released probably today, the ones we went over a couple of meetings ago. So look for those. There is changes to the SBSA and I believe the listing agreement. So if you're taking a new listing agreement anytime after today, probably go look for the new one. And okay, so we're back to Joker Poker. Fun stuff, fun stuff. Shauna is my assistant, is going to do Joker Poker. Is everybody in for Joker Poker? Who doesn't know? I know some of you don't know what the heck I'm talking about. So Joker Poker is, let me fix my screen so I am showing. I am the spotlight. Okay, so Joker Poker, you put $1 into the pot and a business card. And this goes every single week that you guys remember. Some of you who've been here remember how to play. I have a deck of cards, and every week we're going to draw from the cards to see who gets to try to draw the Joker out of the deck of cards. Whoever draws the Joker gets the pot. If we don't draw a Joker, the pot carries on to the next week and the next week. And that card does not get replaced in the deck. So the deck gets smaller, the pot gets bigger, and hopefully
Chances
somebody
get
will,
great.
yeah, chances get better. But the caveat is you have to be here or online. So I know I have some, what do we call it? We're playing, I forget what you call it, but I know some of you online have called in and said, put $1 in for me. So we got IOUs for you. Everybody wants to play. So is everybody in now? Okay. All right. So come over here, Shauna. You have to get in front of the screen. Okay. Okay, Shauna, we don't have very many this week. Do I need this? Yes, we will. Okay. They're all face down. They're all purple. All right, Donna. Okay, Donna. She's
Never got called last year.
so last year when we were doing Joker Poker, was the pot was getting up there right before COVID, and we donated the money to the Mission of Hope, right? And it was quite a big pot. It was like over $1,000.
They were very appreciative.
Yeah.
Very
So
appreciative.
this year it's going to be for us. So pick a card,
Okay.
pick a card, and pick a Joker, or maybe not. I don't know.
Jack.
Jack. Okay, no Joker this time. So next week, how much money do we even have in there? Don't put that back in there.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
We can
Or count cards. Probably like $10. And there's quarters in there. What's up with that? We're broke agents around here.
A lot of us don't carry cash.
Not small bit.
Well, I just got back from Vegas, so I happen to have a lot of singles.
$11.
$11. Okay, so next week, $11 rolls over. So if you want to play next week, $1 and a business card, and that canister will get bigger and bigger with business cards as we go. So we'll see how it goes. Last but not least, I'm not going to mention this one. This is the last time I'm going to mention it. I think you all have come to me about legal fees. So if you haven't settled up for the year, contact Brandon in accounting. And then today's Wine Wednesday. We're actually going to do it today. I promise. I need some wine. Adrian's been so kind as to say, let's go to her winery at Weens because she's got discount bottles. So we're going to meet about 4:30. Anybody who wants to join. Do they have food there, Adrian?
No.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Well, they have stuff you can buy. They have like charcuterie stuff you can buy.
Yeah, in the
Okay.
refrigerator.
They have like snacks that you can buy. So definitely, or pick up a burrito on your way. Like I'll probably
Wait,
will.
is it the winery or the Old Town?
The winery,
There's no old town up here.
not the beer place.
Oh, Weens. Okay,
Weens,
sorry.
Weens. So Weens, 4:30-ish at Weens.
I think we'll try to get, they have a table out in the lawn area that's just for drinking bottles. Otherwise, it's all tasting.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll be outside. Thank goodness the weather is what it is. Hopefully it won't rain on us.
I mean, if there's another place that we can do that, but I know that's where they like to have just bottle service.
So Shannon is, I'm driving her, right?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to try to be there at 4:30. It depends on my last meeting, what time it gets over, and that meeting's with Mark, so I can't really skip out on that one. Anyway, also today we have buy-side training on VAC. If you guys have never seen it, jump on there. Chris should be back to work. I think he was on vacation. And we're on our last few days of Success Series with Rick. So if you haven't done it, or you need a refresher, that's from 1 to 4. Also, the link is on the VAC. Every Tuesday at 11, I'm doing new agent training and I keep the calendar on the VAC. So if it's something that you need a refresher on, look on Tuesdays at 11 o'clock. We do contracts and all sorts of things that Tuesdays at 11. So you're welcome to jump in even if you're not new. And then next week is our Temecula All Valley meeting. So it will be mostly online. You're welcome to come into the office. I'll be running it on the screen. But we have Darren Welsh, who's our attorney for Berkshire Hathaway. And I think we'll probably have Forrest too. The topic is risk management, and he is gonna touch on that home fire hardening form that we kind of talked about before. I tried to get NHD in here today, but everybody's busy, so I will get them in, I promise, eventually. So
Can I
that's
mention
it.
something real quick?
Yes.
Okay, so our escrow that closed yesterday, we had a little stumbling block. But I want to mention, I know everyone has their favorite termite and everything, and Home Guard, they do a good job. They do a good job, and they may not be everybody's favorite, but I will tell you that we needed an emergency inspection yesterday, and because we can talk to Gary, he got it scheduled an hour later.
Wow.
So just think about it.
Good to have friends in low places.
Yeah.
And
Because
I'll-
if I told any of the others, who knows? They would say, well, we'll look,
I want to say something else about Home Guard because Gary popped in, and remember we had that termite training, and those of us have been in the business a while, we know what's covered and what's not covered with termite. And so he wanted to apologize for misinforming everybody about the, termite inspections are on the building only, no outbuildings, only what's attached to the house. So he wanted to make that clarification, especially want you, Adrian, to know that because you call them on the carpet. So he was hoping you'd be here. I guess extra M&Ms for you. I don't know. But anyway, any other announcements this week? Any other announcements out
If
there?
anybody uses Ranch and Coast termite is retiring. So.
Ranch and Coast termite is retiring.
He's not old enough to retire.
He's building golf carts.
Oh, yeah.
All right, you guys, then I guess that'll be it for today. Hopefully I'll see some of you later this afternoon, but I'm in the office all week. So if you need appointments, just text me. Talk to you later. Let me turn this off. Thanks for coming.